So good evening everyone and welcome to the Courtney's Family Gym, or at least that is its current name right now. What I'm going to do today is I'm just going to give you a quick overview of the gym and how much it costs, because I have watched a million, and not exaggerating, YouTube videos about budget home gyms, and the budget home gyms are costing 5, 6, 7 grand. I have not touched anywhere near that amount of money. Yes, it is budget, the equipment is budget, and you'll see that, but it is perfect for a family home gym where the footfall is maybe going to be 3 or 4 people using it on a regular basis, and you're going to see that. So let's crack on, let's see what I've got, let's see how we can use it, and hopefully I can maybe steer you in the right direction about not wasting money. Let's go and get after it, folks. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about and touch on is the flooring. Can you see? So I went with a rubber tile flooring, and I'll just flip the camera. No, I won't. Actually, I think that's fine. You can see it along with my hideous head. So I went with a rubber tile flooring because I hummed and had thought about getting carpet. I thought about how can I do this on a budget, because like I say, I was on a very strict budget. And I looked at stall mats, I looked at rubber flooring that came in rolls. All were coming in more expensive than this. I looked for tiles for ages, and the only thing I can sort of see that was within my budget were the dreaded foam tile, which, yes, the ones I was looking at were probably slightly thicker than the really horrible ones, but they were still the dreaded foam tiles. I got these bad boys, which I'm really happy with, and how it sort of came out, and they are super, from Mirafit. These are half a meter by a meter tiles. I didn't buy any fixings for them. You can get the fixings for them to sort of connect them. I don't think you need to. Basically what I did was I just made sure they were fitted really tightly. So put them on the floor, I measured them out and knew that they were they were basically 10 mil shy of fitting the flooring perfectly. So what I actually did was I put in a 15 mil spacer to really compact the tiles together, and a 10 mil spacer on the other side, so that the rubber tiles were being compact from 2 sides, and that then kept them really tight, and I've never had to worry about them lifting or folding or turning up in the corners, anything. They're well in position. They do a great job. This is a wooden floor under me. It's a shed floor, which has been reinforced, but yeah, really happy with them. And again, the budget, these cost me £230 to floor out a shed that is 16 foot by 12 foot. So I was absolutely chuffed with them. They're 30 mil thick. They do a great job. They look great, and yeah, highly recommend. So that was my first budget buy, my big budget buy, because that was literally the whole important thing and the foundation that the whole gym was built on. So yeah, really good. Definitely highly recommend. Let's look at my next budget buy. So my next budget buy was this bad boy, my functional trainer. Now I purchased this from Strong Fit, I believe. Strong Way. No idea where I got Strong Fit from. Strong Way gyms. This has 2 pulley systems, 75 kilo of weight, and it's been fantastic. I got this in for £309 shipped. That was with a sale and a coupon sort of thing, like a discount code. But yeah, I couldn't be happier with this. I think it's an excellent piece of kit. I'm going to flip you around and get a wee chat with it. Okay, so you can see it behind me just about. If I flip it that way, you can see it better. So yeah, I bought this for £309. Currently on sale, I think, for around £400. Still good value. The main part of this is the fact that I wanted a functional trainer. So I'm just going to adjust the angle. So I wanted a functional trainer, but anything I was looking at, I mean, for £400, you're basically talking plate loaded, having to bolt to a wall, single cable, and it really wasn't what I wanted. And I suppose I was thinking, can I get a workaround? Can I, because you know yourself, when you're doing home gyms, you know, often you see some really sort of ingenious ways of dealing with problems. I just searched until I came across this, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to take, I've never heard of Strongways gym equipment in my life, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to take a punt on this, and let's see what it's like, and I was really happy I did. Build quality is pretty good for the price. Let's face it, it is not going to be commercial grade, but this isn't going to fall apart on me anytime soon. It's solid, it's sturdy if it's put together properly. The weight stack is a nylon stack, so it isn't cast iron plates, but it doesn't matter because your body just doesn't know that it's nylon or cast iron. It just knows its weight. 75 kilos. So it has two options. When you connect the two pulleys together, it's a 1-to-1. When you have the two pulleys connected separately, for say flies or whatever, then it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So the stack then becomes basically 32 and a half or whatever it is. But it is perfect for everything I need it to do. I am not chasing heavy weight. I have been there, done that. I was into my powerlifting many years ago, loved it. But that's not me. I'm 51 years old now. I'm just maintaining, and my wife and my two boys that use it, it's perfect. I use it for lat pull downs, I use it for cable flies, I use it for rear delts, I use it for low rows, I use it for everything that you would use a pulley machine for, and it has been excellent. Yes, the pulleys are nylon, I believe. Yeah, I could easily replace them with aluminium if I wanted to, but I haven't needed to because they're smooth enough. The cable, no stretching at all, it's fine. The weight stack works perfectly, and I'm really happy with it because the whole machine works really well. The handles that I got of it weren't great, but I mean, what did that cost me? I replaced it with some new handles, and a few different connections that I bought from Amazon. They were really cheap, you know, handles ranging from a £5 to maybe 20 quid in total, and yeah, really happy with it. So Strongways Gym, would highly recommend for a home gym usage. And remember, we're still on a budget, and that definitely kept me within my budget, so really happy with it. Great job. Okay, so my next purchase was my rack. You see it behind me? I'm gonna flip you around and get a better look at it. Okay, and we'll get a bit of a chat about it. So this rack, which you see the York bit sitting in front of, is a Pays-You Chinese Amazon Marketplace rack. I have had to modify it, and I knew that was going to be the case. It's 2-inch square sections, which I liked about it. It's 1-inch holes, again, which I liked about it, because most of the products you buy, J-hooks, etc., are 1-inch holes, so it gives you an option to buy better J-hooks, etc., which I have done. Hang on, let me flip you around, we'll get a better chat about it. So the rack is just in behind me. The Pays-You rack was, again, on Amazon, I think it's sitting at about 150 quid currently. I got it for £99 because there was discount coupons and it was a sale on, and it was £99 delivered, and that's really what swayed me. Plus the dimensions of it, because I am working in limited space, and I didn't want to take up so much floor space with a full rack. I toyed with the idea, but other people were using the gym. If this was just for me, I'd have bought a power rack. I'd have just bought a power cage, and everything would have revolved around that power cage. But it's not a gym that is just for me. So I needed to make sure that this was a gym where other people could use it, and people who weren't necessarily overly gym savvy and being able to constantly put everything together like a Meccano set all the time. Things had to be in place to try and entice and encourage people to use it, and it has worked. So this is the bench I have now. It was not my original bench. So this is a York sort of commercial grade FID bench, which is flat incline decline. It's, how would you describe it? It's not like the new modern benches. It's certainly more of a bench of an era where I would have been training on. Hang on, I'll flip you around, we'll get another. Yeah, so like I say, it isn't a bench that modern benches like rep and stuff are banging out. And even now in Strongway gyms and stuff, they're doing them sort of more tactical, I would call them more aggressive, more tactical style benches. And they are definitely really, really well made. But initially I actually went for a bench out of a local company called Hills. And it was a good wee bench, and the key for me was, look, I needed a bench that could do leg extensions as well. I didn't want to get a full-on multi-gym as such, but I did want a bench where I could put attachments onto. I couldn't afford to go and spend £1,000 on a freak athletes or Primal or something like that there. I just couldn't afford it to go and spend them. I did look at the Force USA bench, but again, it's just slightly out of my budget. So my initial bench I bought was from Hills, and it had leg extender and my bicep curl pad on it. The issue I had with that was it was really tall, like even tall for me, and I actually have quite long legs. So it wasn't something that my wife was comfortable using. Like it was way too tall off the ground. The other thing I didn't overly like about it was the leg extension didn't just come off. You had the undo bolts to remove it, and that was not something, again, that my wife and my boys were overly necessarily going to use. I wanted to make this as easy as possible so they can walk in here and do a workout. So I actually sold that bench, had it for about a month, and I thought, no, look, this just isn't working, I'm selling it. And I seen this bad boy online, and I thought, right, this looks like more like it. You can get leg extenders for. You could actually use a lat pull down on it. You can use preacher curls on it. Basically anything that slots into a 50mm slot. So that's what I did. I got this bench, brought it in, built it up, and was happy with it. Happy with the build quality, the likes of the cushion, the foam and stuff, great, firm, and very, very sort of robust. Then I approached York again and asked them would they send me this and this, and they basically refused because I couldn't buy it from this. So I didn't buy the bench directly from York. I bought it from Fitness Store, I think, online, and I had got spare parts from York before, so I thought they didn't have the leg extension or the preacher curl, but the York website did, so I thought I'll just go on the York website and get it. But the York basically then refused to ship it to me because they don't normally ship to Northern Ireland. But what I was doing was I was actually getting couriers to go to their factory, collect it, and then ship it to Northern Ireland. And for whatever reason, because if you live in the UK, you can go and collect stuff from their factory. But for whatever reason, the person that I was dealing with basically had moved or whatever, and I was dealing with another person, and they just refused to ship the stuff from Northern Ireland. And what I mean by ship was hand it to a courier. And that, I have to say, really, really disappointed in York regarding that aspect, because their benches are in retailers that are selling all over the UK, but they're not going to support their products for anyone who's bought them in Northern Ireland. And to be honest, that's pretty crap. But the bench itself is really good. It is more of an old style sort of bench. Like I say, a sort of bench I was training with 20 years ago, and it's rock solid, good back support and seat, and the lining on it is, you know, faux leather, fake leather, but that's what I'm used to training on. I didn't need all these sort of, you know, super grippy padding and all this sort of stuff, and I certainly wasn't going to spend an absolute fortune on, you know, guts of 1,200 quid on a bench with a leg extension and with a preacher curl. It just wasn't in my budget, so I'm actually really happy with it. And I have had to make a workaround regarding the leg extenders and the preacher curls, which I will touch on now. So the leg extension that I'm using for this bench is right behind me here, and basically it just slots into, if I can show you, that hole there. And it's the same with the preacher curl. Now the preacher curl for this bench is the all black one that's mounted on the wall. And it does actually have a wee catcher with it, which I really liked as well, so I can put my preacher bar on that. But they're actually Marcy, and they take the same fittings. So I had to actually buy Marcy stuff. I did have to do a little bit of adjustment, which was basically the spring pins that Marcy use are slightly thinner. So maybe they were 11mm, where the York one is 13mm. So I just had to bore the holes out slightly, and then it fitted perfectly. And to be fair, the leg extension is actually really good. Runs pretty smooth. It can take 60 kilos, which is plenty, and there's a lot of adjustment in it. Perfect for what I need. And also the preacher curl, decent pad on it, fairly comfortable to use, and it has the wee bar catcher, which I'm happy with too. So although it's not York, and it looks weird because I've got a York bench with Marcy branding on it when I'm putting the pads and stuff on it, it works perfectly well. And yeah, everyone's using it, so no complaints. So it was a workaround, wasn't ideal, but we got that done. So like I say, the bench was 200 quid, the attachments, I think it was 50 quid for the legs, extender and leg curl, and 40 quid for the preacher curl. So again, well within my budget. So that was under £300 to get all of that, whereas if I was going to go and buy something like a, you know, Primal or Force USA or Rep, that would have cost me a clean fortune. So I got that flexibility on a budget, and I'm happy with that. So next piece of equipment, what are we going to talk about next? For me, I suppose let's talk about the weights. So as you can see, or can't see, the weights I'm using are standard weight plates, and there is a reason behind that. I'm using standard weight plates. I do have a set of adjustable dumbbells, and I also have a dumbbell tree. So that is my weights. That's what I use. So the weight plates, the standard plates that I use, basically the story behind them was I had already got the majority of these when I was training in my bedroom, and I was training in my bedroom on this wee bench you can see behind me, and we'll talk about that too. So I had about 80 kilos, I think it was, yeah, 80 kilos of the standard weights that I used during COVID, and that cost me an arm and a leg because thought you were buying gold bars when you were trying to buy weights during COVID, as most of us will know. So I already had a fairly hefty investment in them, and I knew that this wasn't something I was going to get back. So rather than changing everything to Olympic weights and starting again and really selling them for a fairly substantial loss, I decided, no, I'm going to stick with what I've got, and we'll just stay within the standard weight. It doesn't make a huge difference to me, and it certainly shouldn't make a difference to most people, because listen, weight is weight. Your body doesn't know if it's 1 inch or 2 inch. It just knows that it's 10 kilos, 15 kilos, 20 kilos, whatever. And so my mindset, I always train my Olympic weights because I was into powerlifting, but I'm also aware that I'm working to a budget. So we made the most of what we had, and they're perfectly fine. I use them obviously with my bars, which again, standard bars obviously, and that is them behind me on the wall. Let me see if I can just get to the side a wee bit. So basically what I bought was, I have a 7-foot bar which I use for deadlifting, I have a 6-foot bar which I mostly use in the rack for pressing. There's a 5-foot bar which I use with the wee fold-away York bench, which is behind me, and then obviously your easy curl, and then I have a couple of bars for my cable machine that I also store up there. The bars are perfectly fine, no flex in them, strong enough. Nerland's actually not too bad. I didn't expect anything from them, because the reality is them bars were like, the most expensive I think was £25, which was a 7-foot one. The cheaper one was I think 15, maybe under 15. But they do the job, they do exactly what I need, which is they allow me to lift weights on standard plates. So they're perfect, and again, not a massive investment. Out of all them bars, I probably couldn't have even bought one Olympic bar. So again, like I say, it's proper budget home gym. It's not budget home gym, here's a rack for $1,000. Not budget to me. My selectable dumbbells, which you can see just there. They are Strongway selectable dumbbells. They are Nuabel basically rip-offs, which you can get them all over the place. I went with Strongway because I bought the cable machine from Strongway and it was very good. And I really do like them. I like them. I had initially, when I was training over COVID, like Bowflex copies, and they were fine, but the fact that the dumbbell was the same size whether you were lifting 5 kilo or 25 kilo, it was just awkward and clumsy. Whereas the way these selector dumbbells work, they just look like a normal dumbbell. So if I'm lifting 4 kilo, it's one plate and you only lift one plate. You're not lifting one plate on a whole rack, it's literally one plate. You select 8 kilo, it becomes 2 plates. And they're really compact and very comfortable to use, and would definitely recommend. But for someone that's going to start chucking them around and smashing them off the ground and pressing and throwing them about, because they will disintegrate. They are not designed for that, and you can tell that as soon as you get them. But if you just want a set of quick selectable dumbbells that feel like real dumbbells, definitely give them a go. I don't think it's worth the money to buy the Nuabels. They're probably twice the price. These guys, they are the 32 kilo, so 32 kilos each. With the stand was under 300 quid. So I'm really happy with them, and they look the part too. So yeah, very, very happy with my Strongway Nuabel replica dumbbells. Let's call them that. And the other thing I bought was, you will see, is the weight tree. Let me see if we can get that in behind me. So them dumbbells go from 5 kilo to 20 kilo. Now again, they were something that I had probably bought about half of them during COVID, and I got them on a deal, like a massive discount code from Network Sports. I didn't even know Network Sports did gym equipment, because I bought a lot of football stuff for them, because I'm actually a football coach. And I got an email one time and saying they were doing these on sale, and I checked them out and I was like, they are by far the cheapest I've ever seen any hexagonal, rubber dumbbell in my life. So I think initially I bought 7.5, 12.5 and 17 kilo. And I used them during COVID, and then when I moved out here, I bought the dumbbell tree, which is an Amazon buy, which was like 25 quid, and I bought the 20 kilo and the 5 kilo dumbbells. 5 kilo really for my wife, to encourage her to start coming out and using the gym, and the 20 kilos was just because they have more rubber weights. I also knew my sons would be out here with their friends. They might not be as kind to the dumbbells, so I thought having a decent, reasonable set of rubber dumbbells that if they drop, they're not going to do anything to them. was the way forward, rather than risking my wee selectable babies over there in the corner. So that is the main lines here at the gym. I do have a few other bits and pieces that I bought, like for instance the treadmill. Can you see it behind me here? So that was a Facebook find. I have been looking for one for ages. I was being patient and waiting on it. It's actually sold by Sports Direct. It's an Everlast, is it? Yeah, Everlast VX9 Smart or whatever. I don't use the smart facilities at all because you have to buy an app for it, and I'm not doing that. But it's got a good incline on it, and it goes up to 16 kilometers an hour, and it's rock solid, and it was an absolute bargain. I picked that up from a guy for 60 quid. Now, it was really dusty in a shed, in a garage, but yeah, it was quick clean up and good as new, works perfect, and quiet. So really, really good find, very happy with that. 60 quid, probably the best 60 quid I've spent in the gym. And I have been pretty frugal. The other thing I bought was, again, another wee buy from Decathlon, which is where I got the weights from, the plates from, and the bars from. And this is the wee, what is it? It's called, how do you pronounce it? Core Length rather than Core Strength, which is a bit strange. But it's just a wee fold away flat bench, which I never fold away. But I use that a lot. I use it for I use it for my lat pull downs. It's the perfect height for them, and also my low rows when I'm using the pulley machine. My wife would use it because it's just easier to move around. But she would use it if she's doing dumbbell presses or flies or whatever. I use it for step ups. I use it for split squats. So it's a really handy wee bench and solidly built. And that cost me £40, $39.99. Definitely highly recommend. For that sort of money, it's a great wee bench, a real handy wee utility bench. The other thing you'll see, like I say behind me, was my original York weight bench. I have done a review on that, but it's a York 540 fold away bench. Hang on, I'll fold it down and you can get a wee look at it. That is my York 540 bench folded down. This is the thing that got me through COVID, and it actually is a really well made bench for what it actually does, which is fold up. It's really compact, and I use that in my bedroom, and half the time you wouldn't really have known it was there. It was sort of stored away between my wardrobes, and it was very simple to move out and use, and you can do lots of different exercises with it. It's sturdy, it's well made. I didn't go for the really cheap version. I wanted something that was a bit more robust. You have the built-in squat rack, which I did have to make an adjustment to, because unless again you're about 5'8", that is the highest pole originally that you can squat from, and that's about, it's probably, you know, 1.60 meters off the ground. It's pretty low. So what I did was, again, I ordered a set of the catchers from the York 540 bench, self-tappers, got them in, and they're actually just the perfect height for me to squat off. It is incline-decline, so you can do decline benching off it. You can do your leg extensions and leg curls, and it's actually quite decent. The seat adjusts in height, which is good. So for like leg extensions, you can lift the seat up, and you can actually get a good range of motion for your leg extensions, which is pretty good for that type of bench. The seat will go completely upright, so good for shoulder presses, or even doing your triceps behind your head. And then the actual bars for pressing off, they're 70mm thick, so they're they're good, solid construction. And like I say, just fold straight up, and it takes up pretty much no floor space at all. So that was the wee bad boy that got me through COVID. And what I did with it was I bought the lat pull down extension, which is hanging there. That is actually the bar of it, which I'm still using. And I also got the preacher curl with it, only because it was really, really cheap. So I picked all that up for £360 shipped to me. Now, I know that's a lot of money, but that was during COVID. I was looking on Facebook Marketplace for literally a bucket of rust, and people were looking £200 for these things. It was insane. And no one was shipping to Northern Ireland. I managed to find, again, I think it might have been Fitness Superstore, and they were prepared to ship it, and that was it shipped. I think the shipping was 60 quid, so that was the big cost, I suppose, in it, and the bench was 300 with the lat pull down and the preacher curl. You can buy this on the site, I think, bench alone, without the attachments, for £199. So I would definitely say, if you're in a tight space on a budget, this is a great bench to go for, and I do mean a great bench to go for. But if you're in Northern Ireland, York aren't going to ship to you. That's the real problem. So it's finding it. I think Decathlon do it, but then when you go on to Decathlon, you select Northern Ireland, they say that it's gone through, and then 2 days later York sends you an email saying, sorry, we don't ship to Northern Ireland, which is a bit of a pain in the arse. So yeah, that really hasn't cost me anything for this gym, because that was purchased 4 years ago, just as COVID hit. So I kind of write that one off, as well as half of my weights that are in that. In fact, 80% of the weights that are in that stack, because I only really added 50 kilos to it when I moved in here. That is what I have done on a budget. Other wee bits and pieces, bought myself a wee clock because it's good to know the time. And it's also got timers and stopwatches and stuff on it, which is pretty cool. I got a fan for the summer, which we have used extensively this year because we actually had a decent summer. Speaker, which I had, so yeah, just used that. Bluetooth. I've added Alexa in here, so everything in the gym comes on and off via me talking to it, which is handy because I don't have to go over and start putting switches on, switches off. Plus, I can turn the heater on before I come in, because I just ask Alexa to turn the gym on, and she does that, and then everything comes on, including the heater. I bought this off Amazon, great heater, and it also blows out cold air, and it looks quite nice too. It fits in well. But you have to actually be in the gym and use remote control to actually turn it on. You can get power to it, but you can't turn it on. So what I did to get around that was I bought an oil-filled radiator, and basically when I ask Alexa to turn the gym on, this comes on straight away. So I'll leave that for maybe half an hour, especially tonight. It's like, I think it's 1 degree outside, so it's a bit nippy. So having that wee bit of comfort is good. And again, like I say, I wanted to make the gym accessible for everyone. So I'm just going to do a wee pan around. Hopefully you don't get too dizzy and sick. Double doors. 2 windows. There we go. So storage up there, dumbbells, etc, etc. And we're back round to the start. So that's effectively my gym. In total, everything I bought in here was 1,500 quid. Everything. And that allows me to get a full body workout and to be able to basically hit any muscle group I want. It has also encouraged my wife and my 2 sons to come out and train, because they don't need to have an engineering degree to put bits and pieces on racks and do all this stuff. Would not in any way bother me at all. Gadgets are my thing, but I knew this gym was a family gym, and I wanted to make sure that it was basically plug and play as much as possible, and also be able to keep it within a budget. Yes, I could have bought individual machines, but then the price would have been absolutely through the roof for everything, and I just didn't have that money. So this is my family gym on a budget, £1,500 in total. You do not have to spend a clean fortune to have a home gym. So this is David from Fit50. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's encouraged you. I hope that it's given you a bit of an enlightenment as to what you need and what you don't need. And hopefully I'll be seeing videos of your home gym soon. Peace out.